The legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com. Skin, everybody.
When it comes to naked celebrities, Mr. Skin knows all and shows all.
Episode 12 of the world-famous, internationally renowned Mr. Skin podcast. I am Jimmy Fallon, joined in Los Angeles by the great Andrea Lowell. How you doing, champ?
Hey, I am doing fantastic. I am so excited for today's
Big
show.
night tonight, a special presidential debate edition of the Mr. Skin podcast. So let's get the man of the hour on the airways, shall we? How you doing in Chicago, Skin? What's happening?
Hey, Jimmy and Andrea, how you guys doing? I am fine.
Fantastic.
Dynamite.
So much going on.
Yeah,
this
I was
week.
going to give a big, please welcome the man of the hour. That whole thing, Skip. You don't even need it. You know what I mean? Like, I was going to have the marching band
that's
play,
very kind of you.
But you are a marching band. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that.
In that regard. So just,
Don't say that I play the skin flute, though.
Well, better skin flute than skin piccolo.
Oh, lots of fun. Good to be here, everybody. A big night tonight. Presidential debate going down. A mile from where I live. Do you know where I grew up? That's a mile away from where I grew up.
Oh, so you've been all up in the action your whole life.
Yeah, they're at Hofstra University, but what's so funny about it is where I went to college, right where the debate is, but across the street at the community college. So you don't really point it out. But
hey, as long as you got the credits, it doesn't matter where you got them from.
I got the same credits. I just got them cheaper. You know what I mean? Like my friends who went to Hofstra had to write like an admissions letter and pass the SATs. I had to give a guy Spider a bag of weed. It was like a joke.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's no admissions to community college. You're sitting in a class with a 30-year-old man who's in a high chair, But
no, that's why they have those junior colleges. You go there freshman, sophomore year, you pay about
couple grand.
Nothing, and then you go to the 4-year, get your degree, and do a junior senior year. No, that's smart. That's a cost
Genius.
saving.
It's
It
true.
is.
We actually shared a parking lot with the place where they're having the debates tonight. And I know, this being the Mr. Skin podcast, we obviously have a huge emotional investment in some of the debate topics tonight, I would say.
Oh, we do.
Topics we'd like to see. Topics we'd like to see in the debate. That's what we were kind of talking about off the air before we came on the air. Is everybody's talking about these big political things that we don't know anything about, nor do we really care. I want to see debates over issues affecting the Skin podcast. I think we were talking about ass or breast was one of them.
Yes.
That's one I get a lot with my friends. Like when people ask me, like, what are the things that attract you to women? The first thing I always say is breasts. Like, I'm a boob man. I see someone with 34C or above, I'm so zeroed in. Even if I'm driving around, I see a girl with big boobs. I have a lot of friends, they could give a crap about boobs, and they're all about the ass or the leg.
Crazy.
What do you,
I like
Jimmy,
them
where
both.
do you fall on that? Where do you fall?
Where do I fall in terms of breast or ass? I got to tell you, Skin, I'm more of an ass man.
Okay.
And I don't mean like in the John Travolta sense. I mean in like the
I was going to say
you're not cruising bathhouses?
Specifically female ass. But I am Skin. My eyes are drawn to the breast, but I am more of an ass man, which is...
Now, Jimmy, were you always that way, or did you kind of evolve into an ass man?
You know what? It's funny, but you're not supposed to flip-flop at a debate, You're not supposed to concede that, you went from one position to the other. But the truth is, Andrea, like, I've always been, if you want to talk about diversity, I think my record as a candidate speaks to a very inclusive platform. I have taken 250-pound girls, 95-pound. The only thing any of them had in common is that they were all over 18. That's the only thing. And I stand by that. But no, Skin, an ass man that was probably an ass man from day one.
Well, but see, I look at it as I like something I don't have.
Right.
I don't have boobs.
Right.
I have an ass.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting thing. And, it says like, to me, it's like a boob is something you can't have. An ass you have.
I love that your attraction is based on supply and demand.
No, but it's a really good point. You don't have it. You want to squeeze on boobs because you can't squeeze on your own. See,
exactly.
I am split. I like both. I first really, really loved boobs. I was a boob girl. I love playing with extra boobs. And like you, Skin, the bigger, the better. But as I've gotten older, I've really began to appreciate the butt so much more. And again, on both genders. And now I think I'm leaning more to being an ass woman.
Yo, Skin, I just got a critical endorsement.
You're split. You're split like an ass man. Hey,
funny.
Here's this is an interesting thing about the
That's
ass
right.
that I've noticed as I've gotten older. When I was in high school and college,
Yes.
like I would go down on girls, but I never thought about eating
Really?
ass. Like it just didn't. It just wasn't in my. As I've gotten older, it's like
Yes.
a fascination with me. Now, why is that?
Wait, just a fascination or an actualization?
No, I mean,
because,
believe me,
I mean,
any chance I get.
I mean, I love giving and
not
receiving.
to bring in any names in my life, but I'm telling you, looking back, and no pun intended, I would have eaten so much ass in high school and college, but I just had no desire. Now, it's all I want to do.
You know
Explain that to me, Andrea.
Because once you got that exposure to it, you know, you had a penchant for it. I too, big fan of licking ass, receiving ass licking. There's something very nasty about it. There's something very taboo about it, which makes us want to do it more. And again, I wish I would have started
You know what
younger.
I think it is?
Hey, real quick,
Okay.
Jimmy, real quick. Maddie D, could you make sure you send an email to my wife not to listen to episode 12?
Let's get this
please?
out of the
Yeah,
way right now.
and my husband too. That'd be
You know
great.
what it is, Skin, though? There is something about people do. I think as you get older, you like to be demeaned a little bit more. There's almost like something
Oh,
like
God,
submissive
yeah.
and subservient about it. And
It's wrong.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Because I also think that's why the first time you do it to a girl who's never had it, she loses her mind. Because
And same thing with the guy
because,
too.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, let me tell you a
Here we
story.
go.
Yeah. Bring it on.
So I was this is in my working at the Merck days, and I was living in Lincoln Park in Chicago, and I hooked up with a girl, and I had never had any ass play to or fro. You know, I was in my early 30s. I just never did. I did everything else,
Wait,
but
you went
never had
all
that.
the way to your 30s and never had
Oh,
the starfish
Skin.
tickled?
No, well, let me tell you, that night, it was like I was shot out of a cannon.
Yes!
I thought, no pun intended, but I was fascinated after that happened, and it just kind of changed me. And I had never even considered that. I was so happy with all the other stuff I could do.
Absolutely.
It didn't even enter into my world. And then she did that to me, and I was like, holy
can I
jeez.
ask you a question?
And it's changed
And if
my
I
life.
missed this, forgive me, but how old was she?
I would say we were about the same age. I was she was in her 20s. I was in my
Yo,
early
Skin,
30s.
a
She was
girl
probably
in her
20s.
20s that is eating ass is a girl you're probably not supposed to be sleeping with. There's
there's
a
a
lot of
offense to
miles
those
on the
girls,
old
but
Chevy,
no.
if you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's a whole other. There's a
no.
whole other topic. But yeah, I remember. And you know what? I don't even remember her name or anything. It was just a girl I hooked up with. But
How could
it truly changed my perspective on the
Well,
ass.
Andrea,
that
hold
night.
on a second. Let's get back to you because I know you voiced some offense at that, or maybe not
It's
offense,
some
but some
sexual
shocking
proclivity.
Were you eating ass in your early 20s?
Absolutely. I was eating ass, receiving it. I was squirting at a young age. And it wasn't because there were a lot of miles under my belt. It was because I really was kind of sexually advanced.
Yes.
And I was very curious, and I really enjoyed giving and receiving pleasure. And also, when you trust someone and the passion is there, you kind of let all your thoughts about it go out the window, and you just kind of go in.
I did that. I'll concede that. You're the exception to a lot of rules, like in that rule.
Well,
That's
she is.
true.
And so, Andrew, when did you lose your ass eating virginity?
Oh, geez, I haven't thought about this in years. Probably 18 years old.
All right. Thanks.
Wow, I'm in my early 30s,
Hey,
and you're ass eating
thanks-
at 18.
Yeah,
What's going
thanks for
on here?
Giving and receiving.
Thanks for throwing that teen in there at the last second, by the way. you go 8.
Andrea, you never know.
Teen. Everybody was hanging on pins and needles.
Could
When
you
it's Andrea, you gotta
imagine?
hang.
Could you imagine though if I was just like a super hoe in 3rd grade?
That's fascinating.
No, but really, for me, I was born very sexually experimentative and curious, and I've always kind of been the first of all my friends. And I remember the first time I squirted, and I was
Whoa.
telling all my friends, I actually actually called Dr. Drew on Loveline because I didn't know what it was. And he assured me everything was normal and it was a beautiful thing. And I've always just been a little bit more sexually advanced than a lot of people my age.
The best part of that is you thought you called Dr. Drew. You were calling like a tire shop.
They're like, yeah, baby, it's
Put
great.
On speaker.
What's your
Drew
number?
from the tire shop.
So a big debate night. And I just wanted to say one thing, Skin. You being the...
Yeah. How do we get into ass eating?
I don't know.
We really...
Who cares?
I don't know. But I was going to say this.
Yeah, the funny thing is, no one was debating the ass eating. We were just talking about it.
He just forced it onto the debate.
We all agree we love it.
It was pro,
Okay.
it was con, it was pointless, but it was
a
great.
rare agreement across the aisle.
I wanted to say this. There was this whole little gamesmanship thing where Hillary might bring Mark Cuban because him and Trump are enemies, and then Trump said he would bring Bill Clinton's mistress, Jennifer Flowers.
Yeah. Who's 66, by the way.
She's looking good for 66.
Yeah, she is a good-looking, people like to say Andrea looks good for 52. Well, this chick, I'm kidding. To be fair, you look good for any age anyway, so screw you.
Thank you.
I look good for 52, but I'm 39. That's my problem. Yeah, I don't appreciate it. But what I was going to say is, lost in the shuffle of all of this, Clinton mistresses and Trump wives and all of that stuff, is that I've seen a lot of trashing of Monica Lewinsky on social media of late, and I have to tell you that completely unjust. Monica Lewinsky is hot.
Now, you got to break this down for me because I've never been on that page. I've always been like, why, Bill? Why? You're the most powerful man in the world.
First and foremost, Andrea, here's something.
So break it down.
Here's something you could relate to because I know we agree on this.
I love sucking dick under a chair. I'm no stranger to the cigar.
It's so funny that
we know.
And you say we agree on that, which I think is great. You're like, we agree on that. Jimmy loves that too. Loves doing that too. No, Monica Lewinsky, we always say people are attracted to energy. We're not necessarily attracted to looks. We're attracted to energy. We've all walked away from an aesthetically good-looking person for someone who wasn't as good-looking because they had like that something about him. Well, Monica Lewinsky has that something about her. And if you actually, and on top of that, if you actually go back and look at her, Skin, wouldn't you agree that she's actually really like a quintessential great-looking woman?
She's the classic penthouse layout.
Yep.
Full lips, big boobs, round booty.
Big eyes.
I see a girl like that, I'm turned on. Plus, I'm into the kind of the Jewish look, if you know what I mean. I just think she is, to me, I would be so
he never had a chance. You got to think about this, too. Bill Clinton, 2-term governor in Arkansas, he never ran into a girl that was just like a pale, plump, flirty Long Island Jew. He never did. Well, those girls, when
you put it that way,
those girls are so like not only promiscuous but persistent because you're a conquest to them.
Are you also saying they're good negotiators?
But I'm not kidding. I have women from like my time on TV and doing stand up and stuff like that literally have harassed me for like 3 or 4 years. Like through like Twitter messages and stuff like that. Like when are we going to get and stuff like that. And I know they're not attracted to me. It's almost like a conquest. It's like at this point they just want to see after 3 years of investing time that I'd actually break down and do it. But I mean that's what happened to Bill Clinton. This is a guy who's really promiscuous, really horny to begin with. Yeah. And now he's got this hot Jewish chick who ain't taking no for an answer. And this is the thing.
That's crazy.
At the end of the day, men cheat because of blowjob enthusiasm. That's a real thing.
You're so correct. And I always tell people when I'm giving advice, suck your man's dick, keep his nuts empty and his stomach full. And when you give a blowjob, it has to be enthusiastic. If you're giving it one laboriously, when are you going to finish? Oh my God, my jaw hurts. Shut up and just put on a performance. If you love the guy, make him feel like a king receiving a blowjob from a queen. And trust me, you will keep the relationship going in perpetuity.
Boom.
Andrea for president.
Yes.
True story. They do. They cheat because of blowjob enthusiasm. Monica Lewinsky was excited about blowing him.
Who wouldn't be excited about blowing a president?
I mean, to be fair, Skin, not to put you on the spot, but you'd almost have to admit that you'd blow most presidents. It's not a gay thing. It's a president.
Hey, listen, I talked to my wife and she was saying, I remember she thought Bill Clinton is so hot. And not because she thought he was, like if she saw him in a bar and he wasn't president, she probably wouldn't think he was hot. But because he was Bill Clinton president, I know she'd hook up with him if she had the chance.
No chance.
Wow.
It's the president. I mean, there's a certain panache.
Maddie, make sure you send that email again.
See,
Thank you.
I'm kind of like like you always say, I'm the exception to the rule. I don't like guys that are super powerful, super power hungry. It's a turn off for me. So I think anyone in high political office has a grandiose ego, and I don't want to give my sexual energy to someone who's very kind of selfish and power hungry.
Whoa.
But that's my 2
So you're
cents.
telling me, like a guy...
I would not suck any president's dick.
Really? How about...
Ever.
Okay.
Ever. Not even a mayor.
George
hold
Washington.
on. Have you seen that powdered
Well,
wig?
maybe a founding father.
You've seen...
Yeah.
Listen, have you ever had your ass eaten with wooden teeth? Let's be honest.
Well, I cannot tell a lie. No, I have not, but I may be a founding father.
You go. That's really funny. So...
No, but that's just how my kind of psyche works. It's like I'm detracted to the power hunger.
That's interesting.
But
You are the exception to the rule, Andrea. That's why we love
Yes.
you.
well, thank you, baby.
That's why we have you on the show.
I appreciate that.
Skin Man, what is what is going on in Chicago?
Forget what's going on in television and movies.
No, but
This
we
is
need
much more
to know. We need to know. Is there anything I've been so busy with work? What have I missed in TV this week?
Well, one of the things I always want to talk about at these podcasts is the weekend television report, because there always is some good stuff. And there were a few things, and I want to get to, and then there was one that I really want to analyze with you guys because I just absolutely loved it. But real quick, a couple things that happened over the weekend. Masters of Sex is in their 4th season, their 3rd episode on Showtime, and this week there were a couple of sex scenes of note. Nobody you guys ever heard of. It wasn't like Lizzie Kaplan or any of the stars of the show were naked. But this Rachel DiMaria was a woman who desires multiple orgasms. So if you remember that scene from Sunday night, she's being watched, because that's what they did. They're analyzing, and they're the doctors of nudity, so to speak. And they're watching her, and she's trying to have multiple orgasms. It was pretty good. And then this other girl named Amanda Quaid was in her underwear being observed. Her husband is experimenting with spanking. So that happened on Masters of Sex. If you missed that on Showtime.
You know what I like about this sex scene in particular is it's actual real sex just being observed, like you mentioned, but no wires, no electrodes, no, they're not on a hospital bed. They're actually getting down and nasty.
I always told
and I like
people
that.
about, the first couple seasons of Masters of Sex, there were some really good nude scenes, but then there'd be like tape and electrodes all over them. So there's always that little caveat, but it wasn't always super sexy because of how they had to design it. But it's still Masters of Sex, though. I will admit, I was talking to the guys in content today. Their 4th season, after 3 episodes, has been a slow go as far as nudity. They've had it, but just not to the level we expect. So I expect things to really pick up in the coming weeks. So I will keep you posted.
Multiple coming.
And another show that was surprised me too was Transparent, which our guys went through. They just released last week season 3 which is from Amazon. And what they do with these Netflix or Amazon series is they put out the whole season at one time. So that's always a busy day at the Mr. Skin offices. So season 1 and 2 of Transparent was off the hook. Great nudity, some crazy stuff.
Shocking nudity.
Very shocking. And Andrea, I know you're a fan of the show, but I have to admit the 3rd season, and Andrea, I don't even know if you've had a chance to even start on it.
Not yet.
Okay, well, our guys went through it, and I, as a fan of the show, I haven't actually watched the episodes, but I see all the nude scenes. So real quickly, I was, again, talking to our content guys. They were like, it was a surprisingly slow season, though. There was one storyline, Catherine Hahn, who you might know. She plays the rabbi that's dating the brother, but she's also known, like she was on that in the movie Bad Mom. She's also on Crossing Jordan and some other things. And she has this pretty cool. Maddie, did you grab the clip of it? Yeah, it was cool. With this guy was she took her bra off in front of this crazy hippie dude. I don't even know what he was. He's like I wasn't watching it in the context of watching the whole episode. Yeah. But he was examining her and kind of, I don't want to say telling her fortune, but kind of like giving a little... he
was reading her?
Yeah, he was like giving her a reading based on her areolas, which I thought was pretty cool. And
if this is a real thing, we need to get up on this because I would love to have my areolas read.
It was pretty cool. So, Maddie, do you got the little clip of this? It's pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. This is going to be good. No, this is gonna be really good.
And this is a rabbi.
Yeah, she's a rabbi.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
May I touch your nipple?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay. Sure.
Your areola is a relief map to every place you've ever been, every feeling you've ever felt, and every person you've ever loved.
Thank you.
May I kiss your exquisite collarbone?
You don't have to ask me. You can just do it.
I just got back from a birthright trip. Where we always ask permission before we
Stop talking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Can I just say, it is amazing the shit guys pull, and it actually works.
Yep.
That is nuts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. See, I don't want to. We're not really giving anything away there, Andrea, but it's a cool scene. And when I watched the video of it, I told Maddie we got to get the audio for the podcast. I just thought that was really good. So that was my transparent. There's a couple other minor nude scenes, but Catherine Hahn does show her breast briefly. But I just really dug this. It was just kind of a unique, crazy scene that I wanted to share with you guys. And then, hey, last but not least about the weekend, because I want to move on to some other stuff. There is a show called Quarry, which I've mentioned a few times about this Vietnam vet. It's on Cinemax Friday nights. And I forgot about this when I talked about it earlier. It's the creator is the guy from Banshee, who, by the way, his name's Greg Yitness. I'm sorry about it. His last name is spelled really funky, but he's a really cool guy because when Banshee was out over the first couple seasons, we'd always be giving it Anatomy Awards and always talking about how great a show it was, especially for what I do for a living. And he would go on Twitter and always be like really excited when he'd get awards from the Mr. Skin people. And I always really dug this guy. And I forgot, as I was talking to the people at our office about how they're 3 episodes into this Cinemax show on Fridays, and it's been kind of my like surprise show for really good nudity. This Paige Patterson, the first couple episodes had some really nice nude scenes with the star.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she was like
I love her.
She was a bartender he picked up. The Quarry's Logan Marshall Green. And anyway, she's also was on the CBS show Brain Dead. That's kind of was her big break. And now she's on Quarry, Getting Naked. But what's cool about it is without knowing that this Greg Yitness is the producer, the creator, executive producer, whatever it is, he is, I've already loved the show. And they're 3 episodes in, and it just so happens the guy from Banshee created this.
Very cool.
And you know what I'm loving about Paige? She has teardrop titties.
She does.
I love that shape where it kind of slopes down and really full underneath, but they're not saggy.
You know why those are great?
Big
Those
fan.
are great because they sneak up on you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because there's not a lot of cleavage.
You don't know they're there. Yeah, that is.
Yes, baby. Yes.
That's a great call with the teardrops.
Yep.
They're always surprises because when girls have really different shaped big boobs with the cleavage, you know in advance you're gonna when she unleashes those, we're in for a party.
Yeah.
When you get a girl with teardrops, you're sometimes fooled by the lack of cleavage, and when the bra comes off,
they're outrageous.
Yeah, I've done tons of nude photo shoots where I start off with clothes or lingerie on and I peel it off, and the photographer, mine aren't as teardrop as hers, but the photographers are always like, "Wow, your boobs are way bigger without clothes on than we thought."
Aha.
So it's that sneak attack teardrop titties.
Because everybody's been on the wrong side of a titty surprise party.
Where it's all cleavage and padded bra, and you take it off.
Yes,
I call that false
Or how about the girls from Saginaw, Michigan?
Yes.
Oh boy, those were always interesting. Those the granny from Playboy breasts that just like. You're so excited, and then the bra comes off, and they're like slinkies.
Yeah,
oh my God!
I'm very equal opportunity when it comes to titties. I'll enjoy and play with all of them. I just don't like being misled.
Yes.
If you've got saggies, don't push them up all the way. So I think you have big, round, high-profile boobs. Just rock what you got.
Back to our thesis on Monica Lewinsky. If you just be yourself, your energy is going to work for a good percentage of people, and you're going to be attractive no matter what kind of titties you have. See, I think that's part of the problem. People are trying to fit a definition of what they think is standard attractiveness.
Exactly.
Yes, there's just no standard. I mean, we've all fucked like millions of different things, again.
Yeah.
Oh, millions of different. What have you
know what I mean?
Things?
Have you guys ever seen Total Recall? I'm kidding.
Yes.
But the point is, sometimes you wander off the reservation.
Nice.
No, I hear you. And that's but that is the fun of breasts, and that was so funny that you mentioned the teardrop because I thought the same thing on those. But listen, I did want to say over the weekend there was a big discovery here at the Mr. Skin offices. I wanted to share with you guys.
Yeah.
Netflix has an original series that came out Thursday. I think it was Thursday.
Okay.
Called Easy. It's about a group of friends living in Chicago, my hometown, and they're kind of fumbling through like love and sex and technology. And it's weird. It's an anthology type of show. So each episode, I think they released 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Each episode has a completely different cast. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It's not. Yeah. So. And our guys went through I think it was 8, like I said, they went through them, and oh my God, do we find some great nudity, and especially in episode 6. And one of the things that was really neat about this, we think it's one of the best nude scenes of the year, without question the best menage of the year.
Whoa.
And it's all names you guys know. So in this menage from Easy episode 6, you have in order, not in order of importance, Orlando Bloom, who gets naked, Malin Ackerman, who you would know, from Watchmen, or Damian Lewis's wife on Billions.
Yes.
She's really hot.
I love her.
Do you really? Can I say something? Go ahead, finish your thoughts, Skin, and then I'll jump in.
And Kate McCucci, that rhymes with Coochie, who you might know. She's a member of that Garfunkel and Oates, that it's an LA comedy folk music duo with Ricky Lindome, and she had never been naked before in her career. Now, obviously, Malin Ackerman had in a number of movies, but my God, these girls, this scene, our guys at the office were going crazy, not only because of how hot and realistic this is, but just the amount of nudity. And this Kate McCucci, who I think I'm pronouncing her name right, she had a body that I had no idea she had such a nice body. And you guys probably see some of the pics from our website of this.
I looked
really,
them up.
really hot.
Her boobs are perfectly perky, and I'm loving the projection of the nips. Woo!
Yes. Is she on, which of these, is she the one on Big Bang too?
She's on some other show. I can't recall. Maybe one of your producers knows. But yeah, she's not a classic beauty at all. I've actually interviewed her. She's hilarious. But
is she? Okay.
Who knew she had that body going on underneath those clothes?
Yeah, and she gives some side bush to going up the stairs. So yeah, it's a great scene. And Orlando Bloom, remember, was the guy on the paddleboard nude with Katy Perry showing his cock. Remember that? Can we talk about that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
wasn't he the guy?
I don't know.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't.
Jimmy, what were your thoughts on
I don't
this?
catalog our cock talk the same way as.
Nor do I.
Say that
and it's with all due respect, by the way, with all the penis has made wonderful contributions to our society. But
well, if I remember correctly, he didn't even need the paddle for paddleboarding.
Orlando Bloom, is that true? He's a tripod.
He's got
a day job as a speed bump. That guy.
Oh my God! Yeah. So anyway, he's in the scene naked, and you get Malin Ackerman. I guess I didn't watch the whole episode. What new? But they were my guys were telling me Malin Ackerman and Orlando Bloom are married, and they meet Kate on Tinder.
Whoa. Nice.
And she comes over, and it's just like a really sexy sex scene and nudity. So must see TV from Mr. Skin.
Can I ask about this? Are those Tinder three-ways really happening? Because I had heard that there was an app actually coming out for people looking to have three-ways and stuff. Is that going on?
I have the app. Okay, so let me tell you, Tinder I would never look at for a 3-way option, but there is an app. They're not paying me, they don't endorse me, but it's called Threesome.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Okay, go ahead.
And it's active.
Hold on, let me write that down real quick.
I have an account, and you're looking for a third party, and it's people who are totally willing and able to join in your marriage, join in your relationship. Maybe you want to try another guy or another girl, and it's either couples looking for a 3-way partner or singles looking for a 3-way partner. So it kind of sifts you through the Tinder BS, where people looking for maybe an actual relationship and just people looking for threesome boning. And that's called Thrinder.
Hey, Jimmy, don't you feel like I do that when you hear about this stuff? Like I have a better... realistically, my 3-way would be me, my right hand, and my left hand. Like, there is just no way. As much as it sounds cool. I mean,
that's funny.
I mean, in your world and mine, isn't it kind of like,
I can't get my wife to let me fuck her, let alone a second girl. No, I'm kidding. Jenny Fail is a gangster, but I couldn't sell that, Andrea.
Yeah, that's a tough
No, but here's the
sell.
thing.
I
When
mean-
it comes to three-ways, you can't sell it. It has to come from the woman's desire.
Oh.
Or you can try to plant the seed, work your little magic so she thinks it's her idea, but it has to be her idea. Otherwise, you just come across as a total asshole.
Yeah, you look like a jerk.
You know, now that I think about it, Maddie, do tell my wife to listen to this episode.
Back it up.
And you know
wait a
what
second.
always helps too? A lot of tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
always
hear
the
you.
catalyst for three-ways.
I hear you. But anyway, so I want to say whenever something new comes around, they're calling this like Netflix's sexiest series, and I am really sold. And by the way, this was just one episode. There were a lot of other great. There's a super sexy. The very first episode had Elizabeth Reese, Reeser, who's from Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn, and she was in this relationship with Michael Chernus. He's a actor you may or may not know. He's kind of a heavy dude, and she's like the breadwinner, and he's the stay-at-home dad, and they are trying to spice things out at home. And there is a scene where she is just in her underwear, laying on the couch with her legs spread, trying to get her husband aroused, to show him. She's like saying, "I want to show you my pussy," and it is so freaking hot. And she has a scene where she shows her butt. And these are just a couple of the episodes. There's a lot more. So check out this Easy from Netflix. We're very big on this at MrSkin.com, but definitely that three-way is one of the best nude scenes of 2016, without question.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, we all know the news media has been way oversaturated with this whole Brangelina breakup, but I don't care about that at all. I just want to know about Angelina's boobs and if there's potential bush or pussy shots. Do you have anything what is the catalog of Angelina Jolie stuff that you have, Mr. Skin?
Well, funny you bring that up because, I saw when this whole Brad and Angelina thing happened last week. We all kind of knew that,
And I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
No, but this is totally going to dominate the press over the next 6 months or longer because this is literally that couple it's really unprecedented in today's celebrity world. Like as far as power couples go, there's nobody bigger than those two. I mean. And even in the history of Hollywood, I mean, I was trying to think today, like Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton is like as close as I could.
Could you give me
come.
perspective? Where does like Jay-Z and Beyonce rank? That's the closest, right?
My point is, I'm talking about. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about Hollywood power couple where you're both big stars, and this thing is going to be monster. But it's a good question.
And we had a caller ask the same thing this week, Skin.
Oh,
the 304 Talk Skin line, if you want to hear that.
Yeah,
I'd love to. Let's hear the question.
Hey, Mr. Skin, this is Todd from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I'm sure you've heard all about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's divorce stuff, but I wanted to ask you, I know she's done a lot of nude scenes, but what are your favorite scenes of hers? Anyway, I love the show. Keep on rocking.
Yeah, you know what? That might...
hey, that's from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
That would be a better way to attack this because I know she's done a lot. So yeah, what are your faves?
Oh, well, let me tell you, Angelina Jolie, and I always was in awe of her as an actress because not only is she the biggest star in the world as far as female actresses go, and I still think you could say that about her today.
Yeah.
But if for an American A-list actress to have done 14 movies where she's been naked is almost unprecedented, where you're a monster star and you've had 14 movies you've taken your clothes off for, that's really impressive. That's why whenever people ask me who my favorite actress is, I always bring her up because not only is she, huge and a celebrity, but she's not afraid to get naked, which makes her near and dear to my heart.
But
as
that
you
is
can imagine.
gangster. You get a lot of street cred for that. I mean, that's probably part of the reason she's as famous as she is.
I would agree with that. I mean, she's not only beautiful and smart and an amazing actress, but she has no problem really showing her body in its glory. And it's not just like a little side boob or a snippet.
No,
it's like full scenes.
Well, one of the greatest nude scenes in the history of movies, I always say, it's always in my top 5, is Gia.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always say, I've always said this, nudity to me makes you more famous and it makes people remember you. And when she did the movie Gia, she was still kind of an unknown actress. She's not unknown, but she was nowhere near a monster celebrity. She was, she was just an up and comer at the time. When she did Gia on the lesbian scene with Elizabeth Mitchell, but especially that scene where she was after the one nighter where she's walking down the hallway and trying to get Elizabeth Mitchell to stay, where she's completely naked. Her career, if you remember, just completely took off after Gia. So again, another example of nudity being great for one's career. But I guess I'm not going to go through all 14 movies, for time here, but I could. But if I had to say some memorable, maybe that you guys don't even know about, that is really cool with Angelina Jolie, like before Gia, she did a couple movies that you guys might not even know exist where she was naked, and it's fantastic stuff. One I love, it's a sleeper she did with Danny Aiello called Mojave Moon from 1996. And she's in the shower and he walks in and he sees a reflection in the mirror and she's topless, and it is such a sexy, such a great topless scene. But I want to mention that there's a scene right before this where she's in a leather jacket with a bra and like leather pants. She takes them both off, so she's just in her underwear in front of Danny Aiello. When people ask me what are my favorite underwear scenes of all time, I always bring that one into the mix, because Angelina Jolie in her bra and panties standing in front of Danny Aiello is one of the sexiest scenes. You got to check that out at our website. Trust me on that one. It's really
telling
great.
that to Brad Pitt. He's like,
well, yeah.
Think about that. As hot as they are, how sick of looking at each other they must be. And that happens. I mean,
that is crazy.
We've all said that since the beginning of time. No matter who the spouse is, you can get tired of looking at them. But they are the proof that there's no limit to that cliche.
No, you're right. And all I could say is I enjoy looking at her, and just a couple others I was thinking about since this happened last week that I actually even went back over the weekend and watched a few just because it's been a long time since I've seen some.
Did.
Well, it's my business.
You got to do your research,
so
yes.
No, yeah, exactly. While Jimmy's writing jokes, I'm looking at nude scenes. So I went and looked at that Taking Lives, remember, with Ethan Hawke from about over.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly hot sex scene. And while she's up against the wall and he opens her nightgown, oh my God, and she's topless. That is spectacular. And before I forget, here's one that I bet a lot of people don't even know she did. It's called Foxfire, from the same year. It was like 96 that she did Mojave Moon. And it's like Hetty Burris and Jenny Shimutsu and a couple other actresses. And they're sitting around, like they have the candles and they all take their tops off. And then they start drawing tattoos and stuff on their breasts. It's a freaky movie that probably no one remembers, except this topless scene with Angelina Jolie is really, really cool. And she even had like short hair during it. But it's as I say, so like she's had this career before she was famous, right when she was about to be famous, and even after with Original Sin and Taking Lives and By the Sea, where she's done great nudity after being a star. She's like the complete package.
Short-haired Angelina Jolie is actually pretty all right, by the way. I've never looked at that before. I'm looking at the Foxfire photo on our podcast page.
Oh, good. Maddie, thanks for putting that up.
If you're listening to the show right now, you can see everything we're talking about at our Safe for Work website, MrSkinPodcast.com, which is where I am, by the way. And
where we put links to all this stuff.
All the content, so it doesn't leap onto your page and get you thrown out of your cubicle. Unless you have a really cool boss. You might have a cool boss who's like, what page is that? Yeah. But Angelina Jolie with short hair, it works. And you wouldn't think it would, because she has a lot of energy in her face. When you look at Angelina Jolie, she just has like a real presence. Yeah. And certain haircuts aren't right for certain people, but it works, Skin. I
think because she's so beautiful, she can pull off anything. And because she has that sexy energy, like you're saying, she can pull it off. Because a lot of people who don't emote that confidence, they're not going to be able to rock a short dude.
That's crazy. You're right.
And she's super symmetrical. Her face is like perfect sacred geometry. She's got
best lips ever.
Eyes, nose, cheekbones. I mean, you name it, she's got it. And I think that her body in Foxfire was the best her body ever was.
No, that's great. And I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed going back and watching those vids. That's one of those times I'm sitting there, I'm sitting at home like, God damn it, I got to go look at those Angelina Jolie nude scenes again, thinking, what a great life I have. It's a rough gig,
Skin. It's a rough gig.
Hey, we're getting, I don't want to go too much longer, but there's a couple other things I wanted to mention to you guys, because it's very important that you guys are up to speed on some cool nudity finds we have. Actually, Tuesday this week, tomorrow, we're taping obviously on Monday. There's a movie called Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. It's a bromance comedy starring Zac Efron and Adam Devine. You might know him. He plays Andy on Modern Family. That's Sarah Hyland's like boyfriend. I haven't been keeping up to date, but I know he's on Modern Family. And it's like I said, it's a bromance comedy, but Aubrey Plaza, who plays April on Parks and Rec, has two really great moments. One is, and I think I posted this for you guys to check out. So she's screwing Adam Devine, and she's jumping up and down. He's sitting, she's standing. How great is Aubrey Plaza's butt?
And that's definitely her butt?
Well, it's funny you say that because we went.
It's an incredible butt. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
it looks very dense with muscle.
I had an intense conversation with our content department because when you watch the scene, based on my rules of nudity, you could say that they used a body double, but my crack staff, no pun intended, went and looked at like her arms, her hair, past things where we've seen her in a thong. And made the call, and then there was Anna Kendrick in the movie that's with her, does use a body double for one of her scenes, and there were articles about it. They never mentioned Aubrey Plaza's body double. So with all these factors, we're very confident that is her butt. But what a butt during that scene.
What an ass! And my question too about the sex scene is, how is this actually anatomically possible? It looks like she's effing him like a guy would eff a girl. Does she have a strap on, or
no? He's supposed to be banging her. You're right. He has to have a pretty
because she's standing up
to make that. Yeah,
and her legs are closed. That's why I'm like, what's going on?
It's pretty cool, and I guess she's like I want to say she's Irish and Puerto Rican. That's very New York, Jimmy.
That's funny.
Yeah, but anyway, so what a great butt, and I loved it. But then there was a scene. You can't see anything, but it's so freaking hot where she's in the she's
sauna.
in the sauna with this Alice Wetterlund, and the scene opens and she's just fingering her under the towel. It is so freaking hot.
That is so hot. Wow. Oh my God. That is ridiculously hot. It's like, we're not seeing anything, just the arm moving, and it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even though she probably obviously wasn't really jerking her off, the way she knew how to move her fingers, right, Andrea? Like, that she knows how to do it.
She was going up into the G-spot. Yeah, she was getting it.
This is so annoying because every time I've ever been in a sauna, I get like the 300-pound old man.
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of turkey gizzards in my sauna, and it's not
killing
fun.
me, man. And I'm just watching this getting mad. You're right about the technique, Andrea, but I can't appreciate this.
But Jimmy, who jerks you off in the shower?
I don't have that good of a gym, man. Like, if I had a better gym, they're not as hands on.
Hey, I thought you guys were gonna kick it out of this too. We got to wrap things up, but I didn't want you to miss. So there is a scene in this Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates where this actress named Sugar Lynn, and the aptly named Sugar Lynn Beard comes out.
That's her
wearing,
real name?
No, it's a real name, but check out the merkin she's wearing.
God.
You can see her breast, but she's wearing like for effect just to show that she has a monster muff. But
I mean,
you could tell it's a merkin, but this is the greatest merkin in the history of merkin.
It's like a Duck Dynasty beard on her pussy.
Yes, great call. Great call. Yes,
Sugar Lynn Beard.
Her muff is voting for Trump. See what I did? I brought it full circle, Skin. I brought it back to the debates.
Full circle.
Good work. But
I love it.
As you guys could see, it was a very busy week in nudity, and I anticipate, next week when we meet again will be the day after Westworld debuts on HBO, and they're calling this like the budget and just the hype, and HBO's really pushing this Westworld. And I'm hoping I'll be calling it Breast World when it's all said and done, because it looks like there's going to be a ton of nudity. So that debuts October 2nd, Sunday, and it's just and Shameless season 7 also. So I'm sure we'll have some great TV nudity to talk about next week for unlucky episode 13. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll make it lucky. We'll switch it around so it's super special.
Don't worry about Skin. Hey, I had a lot of fun. Couple of announcements we should make, Skin, before we go. We should remind everybody who listens to the show to rate us. Visit MrSkinPodcast.com/survey.
Rate our ass eating.
Yeah, rate our ass eating. That's really funny. MrSkinPodcast.com/survey. If you go to that and leave us a rating, you can win a Google Chromecast. It's a streaming media stick, and it also comes with a free 1-year subscription to Mr. Skin. So if you have a subscription, we'll extend it by a year. If you don't have a subscription, you'll get a subscription. And you can also rate us in iTunes. And give us a grown-up rating. We want to know what you think, because we're always trying to improve the show. I know it doesn't necessarily sound that way, but we are trying. I'm kidding. It's being silly now. So it's self-deprecating. See what I'm doing here, kids?
Yeah, and don't forget 304 Talk Skin. Who was that guy? What was the guy's name that called?
It's Todd from Oshkosh.
Todd from Oshkosh.
Yeah, leave us a voicemail.
We'll be sending Todd some swag. So
Damn
very
right
cool.
you will.
And Mr. Skin has good swag, straight up. It's excellent stuff.
Andrea's seen it.
I've
She's worn it.
seen it. I've had it. I own it. I love it.
Enjoy your merkin,
Yes.
Todd. This was a lot of fun, you guys. I kind of miss you already.
Absolutely.
But,
All right, guys.
do it again next week.
MrSkin.com. Fast forwarding to the good parts.